Hello and welcome everyone, a new episode of Windows. Well, we are starting a new chapter in our parliamentary life. And when it comes to a country like Egypt, which has or enjoys, to be accurate, such profound history, thousands of years of civilizations, not only one civilization, and with its people very much sticking to their identity, and representing Egypt in the parliament is not something easy at all. And we do have a lot to speak about when it comes to our parliamentary life. Duties, rights, missions, a lot. Women are really having a share, but is this share enough? Are we expecting a bigger share? What should the Egyptian women do to deserve a bigger share in the parliament? To shed more light on this very important issue, we are very much delighted to have with us live here in the studio our prominent guest, Dr. Asmaa Elzieny, a graduate from the presidential program from the National Training Academy. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Asmaa. A very good evening.
Very good evening. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be in your company.
Same here. And we are going to start, if you permit me, with the challenges. What are the challenges in front of the Egyptian woman in her representation in the House of Representatives or in our parliamentary life in general?
The challenges female face while being now represented as parliamentary members is not far from the usual challenges that the Egyptian woman faces whenever she leads a position, such a position, a leading position. Actually, the parliament is one of the most prominent and important pillars in our life today because it has a monitoring role over the performance of the government. And when it comes to the legislations, it all comes out from initially from the parliament. So we need the characteristics of people representing Egyptians in the parliament to be of a very special type, to be aware of the expectations, the hopes that all Egyptians...
The aspirations of the people.
Aspirations and the challenges.
Before going to that, Dr. Asmaa, if you permit me, let's dive first into our culture as the Egyptian people. Now, we have learned the lesson that women can do a lot and women can play such a positive role, or still women who are now candidates first as a first step, they need to struggle or to exert even double efforts of men to gain the trust of the community.
The situation is not like this nowadays because we have what's called the list, and women are represented in the list, the closed list, and also they are appointed because we have the quota for women to be appointed and for the youth also, and also there are female elected. The number all in all is satisfying, and the way they are chosen is also satisfying, but all depends. I'm still hopeful about the impact of the role they play while being represented as members of the parliament.
What role? I mean, there are so many voices saying that women in the parliament should only be focusing on the social issues, for example, on such things which women can have a better say, not in the economic or political issues or stuff like that. Are you with this, or it depends on the mentality of the parliamentary member, whether a man or a woman?
What speaks about this is not me, it is with the reality what already happened. We have seen that women led the initial inaugurating session for the parliament was led by 3 women. I believe this photo of the president of the session and the 2 deputies will remain so long. Once we are sure that the Egyptian state trusts the capacities of the Egyptian women, why they give them this a chance. But the trial needs a lot of being patient, because to achieve success in such a position needs a lot of training before even being elected. And while playing this role, these women, I believe the female representatives need to be supported in all possible ways. They are already in the committees now. I saw women in the Committee for Foreign Affairs, and the Committee for Social and Family and the Children, and also for, I believe,
Social, family
environment.
and children, it's okay. But let's go to, let's imagine, or let's dream together. You are now going to choose 3 national files where women should focus on, or even to be responsible for. What?
Education.
Education?
First of all, health.
Oh,
I believe
these are priorities. If I'm understanding.
Yeah. Let's say the foreign affairs, because it is mostly relevant to the national security file.
So
And they are represented in these.
Foreign affairs.
I believe these are the most challenging files that we need the special effort of women to support these files.
Dr. Asmaa, you know, I'd like also to focus on something else regarding the daily life. I mean, women can be in depth knowing more about our daily life or the problems facing the Egyptian women, even in the street, more than men. If this is true, or you are convinced with that with me, please let me know how we can use this in the parliament. Because representing the Egyptian people, meaning that we do represent the Egyptian people, the simple people in the street, not the elite.
Yes. We need to represent all categories of Egyptians, but the majority of Egyptians are laymen, people, common people, people like farmers and working in very simple jobs. And I believe that women, by innate, they are by nature able to represent whatever category, because every family, in each family there is a sister, there is a mom, there is a grandmom, there is an auntie. This is a rule. And there is a teacher in the school, and a professor at the university, and a doctor in the hospital.
And a minister.
And a minister, alhamdulillah.
And this is exactly what I wanted to focus on, if you permit me, in another way. The representation of women in our cabinet now for years is really big. Do you think that this is reflected on the women's representation in the parliament?
Somehow, yes, and most important, from where they come. We have varied backgrounds for the people elected, chosen for the parliament. We have professors, academics, we have media staff, we have people involved in the most important file that we need to focus on the future, which is the economic file.
When we talk to women parliamentarians, we really see that the role inside the committees is really big. But this is not clear in front of the people. How we can shed more light on that, to let the people know that those who were chosen are really practicing the utmost, or introducing the utmost efforts inside the parliament?
Actually, in the years to come, we need many things out of these committees inside the parliament. We need to revise the actual laws which we have already, and we need to work on more laws in the future which guarantee the justice of distribution of all resources for men, women, youth, old people. And we need to correct our track. Usually this is a continuous process, that we have the law or whatever project, the policy, whatever, and we need to assess and modify easily.
Legalizing the frames, you mean?
Legalizing the frame and correcting the track. Usually, sometimes we have a law, when it is put in practice, it is proven that it is not practical, it is not efficient enough. We need to revise these also.
Flexible enough to amend the laws, or to eliminate any obstacles?
A very clear example, let's say that the personal status law, that we in Egypt we are working in a new personal status, which is most relevant to the family situation, marriage and divorce, and the future of children. We are adjusting and reforming and improving the situation. This, when it came into practice, it proved that there are very many defects, and we need there are shortcomings, and we need to work on this. And this is one of the most expected and important files I believe the new parliament will be responsible for in the coming year.
And the women should have a lion's share in that.
That's logical.
It goes without saying. But let me go to another file, which is economy. Because empowering women is, and I think it's going to continue to be, one of the priorities in front of the state. And the president himself is calling all the time the Egyptian women as Azimat Misr, the great women of Egypt. How do you see empowering women as a responsibility of the female parliamentarians?
It is a responsibility. It is not honoring them, because once I give you a chance to touch the real suffering of people, I'm telling you, try to find a cure. And this is the green light which is given to the women in parliament and women minister and working as ministers and in all public affairs and all positions. Find a cure. We need someone to look from a different lens, I believe from a different perspective. There are great and very important and efficient also male officials, but we need the other vision. We need to look from the other side. We do agree that men and women look at some matters differently. Their perception of some matters is different, and we need to make this as one. We unite the vision.
And of course, a mom is different than dad.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
we cannot say that which role is bigger, but this is nature. But here I want to focus, if you permit me, on tangible efforts or tangible steps which should be taken on the ground. What you're saying is such a noble goal, but how to be implemented? Via what? Via having face-to-face meetings, or via cooperating with civil societies, NGOs, what?
By involving in communities, real involvement in actual communities, different levels, academia, farmers, clerks, different communities. I believe that the new female representatives coming from different backgrounds for this reason. We need to see what doctors are suffering in their work. There are doctors in the new where media staff are suffering. We have media female represented as members of parliament. We need to complete the vision. When it comes, you know the difference between theory and practice?
Yeah.
They are going to practice because they are coming from these different
deeds, not words.
Yes, we need, and they already passed the situation. They finished the track, and they are all about to modify and to reflect on their experiences for future of female to see.
And to build on the previous experiences. I mean, we are not inventing the wheel.
Sure.
How do you see the importance of taking into consideration the successful stories of Decent Life Initiative, for example, as this presidential initiative really proved successful on the ground to benefit more than 15 million Egyptians, if you want to elaborate on that?
You know what these initiatives are doing? We are doing our best to change the mindset of some category of people that you deserve to live a respectable life. Sometimes when some are given the chance, they spoil the situation, and they may demolish things and do bad in different ways. But we need to raise awareness that what service is offered for you because you deserve better than this. I believe what the most important outcome of number of initiatives is this point.
And simply, and because of that, it's entitled Decent Life.
Yeah.
حياة كريمة.
For yourself, see by yourself, you see the difference between what you suffered before, and we are going to grant you to have a chance to live in a better level. Not in a better level, I mean not economically, I mean in all perspectives.
All levels.
Yeah.
To receive
better manners,
educational
attitude. Yeah.
Because I want to also, because you said, you mentioned a very important file, which is education, and another important file, which is health. How do you see the women's share in promoting these fields, as also it's in front of or on top of the agenda reaching Egypt 2030, the new republic? The new republic is not going to emerge without a better educational service and a better health service.
This is why I'm focusing on the varied background of the new members of parliament. Education is so crucial. It touches the life of every and each young, old man, woman, and all families, all members of the community. And actually, each one has its own vision. But we need something tangible. We need a quick, tangible change in the quality of the educational services offered for all Egyptians. I believe I hope that the Parliament makes this one of the priorities, because once you actually the coming of women to Parliament is a result of the preparation and training programs and improvement of education for the last 10 years. We need to work hard to make the years to come much focusing on raising the awareness and preparing future generations to play the expected role, whether being men or women, and more important for women, I believe.
But how? I mean, how to prepare a young lady to shoulder this responsibility and to make sure that on the ground she is going to fulfill what she learned. I mean, it's not only ink on paper.
It's a long journey. It is not one day, 1 week, 1 year. It's a long journey that if you have an opinion about this policy, educational policy, curriculum whatsoever, methodology whatsoever, you know that more than half of the number of students within schools, in universities, in postgraduate studies, are more than half is girls and women. We need to listen to their voices. We need to talk to them. What you need to have to improve the quality of people. I believe the Parliament should have this public dialogue with different categories of female in different levels of education.
This is it. Should we start qualifying women to be the leaders of the future from school, for example?
I believe yes.
How? I mean, with the
special programs,
with a special program,
other than the textbooks.
Sure.
We have these programs to encourage them to participate in the activities at school, to take them to see what's happening actually outside the school community. This is so important, and I believe President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in a number of his speeches would give directions like take the people to see what we are doing. Start from children, school children, boys and girls, and university students, and that people touch what is actually achieved. Maybe he is not aware enough what is being done for them, and I believe the preparation for leading roles starts from the early school years.
And tell me also about the importance of, because this idea just came to my mind regarding the female parliamentarians to go and to pay some field visits to the schools and to even some of the colleges to make sure that they can give their opportunity, their experience, and to give the opportunity for the students to ask. To wonder if this is going to work with them or no, and to have more info, to have even more experience while they are still at school or undergraduates.
I totally believe that this is important, because sometimes a living example means it's much more important than million speeches about doing the role. Once you see the living example, the doctor, for example, she's a member of Parliament, she's successful, and she's visiting these field visits, visiting the schools, universities, and clubs and different places. I believe sometimes it affects the life of someone without speaking, just by seeing the living model. You know, when you sometimes at the very early stages of your life, you are impacted by a teacher, by someone you read about in the newspapers, on the social media, whatsoever. I believe this is crucially important to have these community visits. Important for both, for the members of the Parliament to touch the real life of everyone, and important for the young generations to lead a moving living
role models.
Yeah, role models.
Role models, and I mean, they are also, this generation, I think it's more lucky, as we do have on YouTube, for example, or when we Google Dr. Aisha Ratib, for example, Dr. Latifa Zayat, Dr. Amal Othman.
The pioneers, yeah. Sometimes years ago it was your only chance was to read a book about their biography or to meet them in a public event, but I believe these generations are more lucky that they have the chance to meet the living examples, the role model everywhere, sometimes in public events, in the conferences, and these visits are going to change, I believe, is going to change the life of many people if they are going to decide to start with this.
Yeah. Regarding the coming Parliament in general, I think it comes in a very critical period where the whole world is really suffering from many crises, geopolitical, chaotic situations in many countries, even
Around
the
Egypt,
economic
yeah.
global crises, whether the inflation, whether the supply chain issues, the food security, you name it. How do you see the way which our parliament should deal with such issues?
What Egypt is facing is not an exception out of the whole world. You know the economic challenges the whole world is facing. I believe that the Egyptians are expecting and hoping that the parliament stops the situation, that the citizen never to be burdened with any extra duties, because people are truly suffering, because the economic situation is very stressing for everyone, whatever the category are. Everyone can tell you that we are burdened with many responsibilities. I believe one of the priorities of the parliament is to elevate the burden on the Egyptian citizens, regardless of the being in whatever class, whatever level of living.
Amen to that. But being also transparent to the people is also a very important issue, because, as you've kindly mentioned, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is all the time telling the top officials and top executives, tell the people what we are doing, and tell the people what Egypt is suffering from, and tell the people how we managed this problem or that one. True?
True, and besides telling the problem, telling the options. What are the options? What are our ways to get out of this situation, and what we are going to be burdened with? I believe transparency in this is crucially important.
Exactly. This is what I wanted to continue with. How do you see the importance of social dialogues, particularly tackling vital issues which might have their impacts, whether positive or negative, on the future of a generation?
In my opinion, I see that this parliament is a result of the series that we had of national dialogue, and I believe the continuation of this is like these discussions and disagreements sometimes and agreements sometimes is crucial, because we need to make our look at what direction. We look to the future. We are looking up for the future to be better. We need all people to be represented and be heard, regardless of their level of education, because still they are Egyptians. We need them to be represented, and it is hoped and expected that
solving the problems based on scientific solutions is the way to succeed.
We have the academics represented in the parliament, but we need to solidate this with that, the theory with the application. We need them to see what people are actually suffering. And this is one of them.
Can be the mission of women rather than men, or they are all equal?
They are both. I believe women are able to better to communicate, and this is a reason why they are represented in number of committees. For example, the foreign affairs
committees. But here I should also tackle the age category.
Age category. Each one should tell you that this parliament proudly is the first parliament of these young members.
But here, Dr. Asmaa, you are going to find two voices. A voice saying that, of course, this is great that youth are there and women youth are represented, and they are going to be more acquainted with the current situation, the current problem faced by their age category, and others would say, oh, the most experienced ones should be there and should have the upper hand, let me put it this way, because they are the ones who can find solutions according to their accumulated experience. Which is which?
I believe this representation is balanced. We have young generations represented for the first time, and we have number of experienced female, in the representation, and this is going to balance the whole situation. I believe it will be a little bit hard for them at the beginning to start the track successfully, but let's stay hopeful that their experience is going to be successful and inspiring for others to join the track.
You are now one of our female MPs, and it's your first time to even attend the session. What you will do? What are your expectations? What would you do even to promote your performance, your style, your way even of thinking about the whole thing around you? Let me know.
I'm coming with, I'm loaded with number of expectations of my community, let's say my local community. I'm gonna never leave a file without touching, without studying in depth, to come out with my own view about the situation, being successful or not, but still studying the problem is a step to find the solution.
First, to say or to admit that there is a problem, this is a first step in solving it, and then to continue with that. It is
seen by everyone.
Yeah.
No one can deny the challenges that the Egyptians are facing, something undeniable, because it touches the life of each.
What priorities, Dr. Asmaa?
Sure.
And the priorities?
Still, the economy file, top priorities, education, health, transportation, national security regarding the what's happening in the whole world and affecting our life.
Returning back to the representation of youth in general, of course we are focusing on women, but let's also talk about the youth and this privilege of being experts in AI, in new technologies, in social media, how to deal with it. How do you see this also as one of the merits they do enjoy?
This is a great merit, I believe, because they are more flexible, more reflecting about their own experiences, being long or short, being big or small, successful or not, but they can reflect on their own experiences. I believe number of members of parliament coming from families with history of political participation. I believe the experience of the earlier generation is going to add to this fresh experience of some of the members.
Also, now I think the parliamentarians, as they are going to focus, of course, on the performance of the government, because they are the ones who would say that this minister, for example, is doing well, or this minister, we need to ask him why this happened and why this did not. How do you see the importance of having this inspection tours and field visits by the Prime Minister, the ministers, all the cabinet to the projects on the ground? I mean, now there is nobody sitting in
his office.
An office.
Yeah.
No, there are all the time field visits, inspection tours, press conferences. How do you see this as a way to convey the message to our parliament?
This is what we mean when we say that we are changing the mindset. You are not the responsible, the official sitting and waiting for the cameras to come to you to take your photos. You are responsible. People are going to ask you. You are not honored. You are responsible. And actually what people are going through nowadays makes everyone never like to sit like flexible and feeling comfortable. We have challenges.
We have challenges, but the previous parliament had challenges. The coming parliament is going to have challenges. But
it greatly depends on their way of dealing with these challenges. If you are yourself coming from background feeling this and going through this, I believe you are going to find the touches. Sometimes the solution to big problems come from small experience. Sometimes when you go being a patient in a hospital, for example, if you stay in one of the governmental hospitals, you find you touch the illness yourself, and you know what should be done in this. If you come from a school, public school, and seeing what's happening inside, you are able to find the solution once you are in this position. I believe number of members, representatives, I mean, coming from different backgrounds for this reason.
One final question, Dr. Asmaa, regarding the performance of our political parties, about their direct relation with the people and what's expected from them in the coming parliament.
A lot is expected. A lot. Each one. Because we know that they are given the chance to represent us. If they see us and feel what we are going through, as I mean that ordinary people, I believe once the men and women, female and male inside the parliament are cooperating, it is not about showing, it is about finding the way. The female members need a lot of support in different ways, because female especially are responsible for families, has other responsibilities. I need the balancing between this and that is so important, and it comes from inside the parliament, to give them the chance to actually and give them the chance to study the situation. Sometimes some files are closed, not touch it, for not everyone given the chance, equally chance to study. I believe if they are given the full chance, they will change, they find different ways to solve their problems.
Dr. Asmaa, thank you very much for your input there, and we are going to leave you with the promise to see you in more episodes of Windows.
Thank you so much.
And this is the message of our episode. The Parliament is really facing a lot. Egypt is that pivotal in the region and is a pioneering country when it comes to parliamentary lives. And we are expecting a lot from our coming parliamentarians to echo the voice of the people. By this we come to the end of our episode. Stay tuned on NTV International always for more. Many thanks for watching. This was Nireen Abdurrahman.